Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you today. And thank you, Gauthier. Thank you, Laurent, for everything. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, EDRLab, for inviting us. Here is Muhammed Salah. I am a product manager at Samawy. Samawy is one of Saudi Iconat group companies. Let me first introduce Iconat. Iconat is a Celtic group that builds creative knowledge platforms and systems to advance the Arabic content digital availability. We started in Iconat in 2017 as a print platform group and worked since then on pioneering Celtic projects with numerous institutions and agencies, including the Saudi government. Samawy began as a subsidiary company of Iconat Group in 2022 with the name Print Bookstore. The Print Bookstore was the first Arab print-on-demand professional service. Then we quickly evolved into a comprehensive digital publishing company that serves the publishers, authors, and self-publishers and readers through a one-stop hub of print books, e-books, and audiobooks, alongside the comprehensive publishing technologies offerings to address many challenges within the Arabic digital publishing scene. There are many challenges within the digital publishing scene in the Arab world. We have a huge gap between the digital content supply and the consumer's demand. Despite a population of over 450 million Arabic speakers, less than 10% of Arabic books have been digitized and provided for the readers, which may be also an exaggerated number. 10% is maybe an exaggerated number. This low digitization rate persists even though reader interest is high and demand for ebooks and audiobooks is growing steadily. This limited supply of Arabic e-content has many reasons. Three of them are highly critical. Firstly, numerous Arab publishers have been reluctant to go digital due to concerns over the profitability and digital books' effect on the print editions. Until recently, many publishers believed that going digital will affect their physical books sales. And secondly, there were, since 2012, some misleading past digital publishing experiments with poor scans and low-quality PDFs and EPUBs resulted in unsatisfactory reader experiences, which led to reduced revenues and eroded publishers' interest in the digital market. The third factor is that weak DRM practices and rampant piracy made many publishers fear that releasing an ebook was akin to surrendering their book and content to unrestrained distribution. So most Arab publishers were shying away from ebooks out of fear of content piracy. As most of the region lacks robust regulations or trusted protections for online publishing, despite some recent breakthroughs in some countries like Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. This environment, all these factors, resulted in a cautious, slow embrace of digital formats, with many publishers sticking only to print, especially traditional print, as we found the same resistance in launching the print-on-demand service in 2022. We have recognized in Samawy that overcoming these challenges was essential to unlock the potential of Arabic digital publishing scene. So from the outset, we designed our platform, which comprises of an e-commerce website and reader application to address those challenges with a modern, holistic solution. First, the content security was a top priority. We envisioned a robust DRM system to protect PDFs, ebooks, and audiobooks, giving publishers confidence that their titles would not be easily pirated and distributed. At the same time, we wanted to build flexible monetization models into the platform. So users can either purchase titles a la carte or enjoy content via unlimited subscription. This dual model is still rare in our region and offers publishers both traditional sales revenue and the growing opportunity of subscription-based distribution. Equally important, Samawy tried to support multiple content formats in one place. We offer a comprehensive digital library of thousands of titles spanning ebooks and audiobooks side by side. And this is rare in our region. This united approach recognizes that readers may want to both read and listen at the same time, and it positions Samawy as one-stop hub for digital reading in Arabic. That caters to the needs of all readers and maximizing the publisher's revenues. And because of the quality issue, we decided to stick to international industry standards compliance, as we believe that following these standards will make the digital reading experience for the readers better and affect positively the sales of publishers. We chose the EPUB format for ebooks and embraced technologies recommended by the publishing community, rather than choosing custom formats like some of our competitors who decided to build a fully custom workflow to generate a wholly custom book format to work on their custom reader. This compliance also eased the integration with publishers' existing workflows and other services. Additionally, our solution was crafted with a modern B2B positioning. Beyond just a consumer app, we work also as a partner to publishers. We provide a publisher-author portal and services so that content owners can easily digitize their catalogs, manage rights and pricing, and track performance. This partnership approach helped to push away the fears of publishers and collect more content for our users. So to build all of this together in one solution is a big deal. Then we found Readium. When selecting the technological foundation for Samawy, we chose the Readium open source toolkit and Readium LCP DRM. This decision was driven by several key factors. Oh, sorry. Yes. First, open source reliability and community. We thought that with Readium, we can build on a proven, evolving code base rather than reinventing the wheel like other platforms. The open source nature gave us transparency into the code and the freedom to customize it for our needs. It also ensures long-term viability, with many industry players using and improving Readium. It won't vanish if any single vendor disappears, like other property options available. We saw open source as a strength, so we chose Readium. The second, that the standards, compliance, and format versatility is a foundation of Readium. Readium's toolkits are built around modern publishing standards, which align perfectly with our compliance goal. This gave us confidence that when we adhere to these standards in producing our catalog, this directly means that all our content, text or audio or anything in the future, could be delivered seamlessly without issues. This versatility was critical for Samawy model of ebooks plus audiobooks sold in a la carte plus subscription. So because of this also we chose Readium. The third cause, that robust DRM with flexible business models was very, very important for our model. We adopted Readium LCP as our DRM solution because it was built to support different business models beyond one-time purchase. So we can enforce content licenses for both perpetual purchases in a la carte and time-bound subscriptions or rentals or anything else. In short, LCP gave us a secure, cost-effective, and flexible DRM that aligns with the open nature of our platform. So because of that, we chose Readium. In summary, choosing Readium provided the open source strengths, standards compliance, format flexibility, and long-term stability we needed. It allowed us to stand on the shoulders of a global initiative rather than building a closed system from scratch like others, accelerating our development and ensuring our platform remains compatible with international norms going forward. But implementing Readium's technology in an Arabic-focused platform wasn't without hurdles. As early adopters of Readium in the Middle East, I think we are the only one in the Middle East, we encountered several challenges and learned valuable lessons in this journey. The first challenge that we had a steep learning curve with Readium. Our developers saw that the Readium SDKs, especially the mobile toolkits for iOS and Android, and the test apps, and they loved the test apps, are very powerful, but need to be supplemented with more than just written documentation. They sometimes had to dig deep into source code or seek guidance from the Readium community to understand certain behaviors. We often found the quick resolutions or workarounds by communicating with the maintainers, especially our friend Laurent. we are buzzing a lot with him and the other maintainers. But we think that supplementing the documentation with training sessions or virtual gatherings of developers and detailed tutorials, I think it will be very helpful for other developers. The second hurdle, and the most important, that we have very poor quality EPUBs and ebooks and audiobooks in the Arab world. A significant practical challenge was that the quality of content files we received from publishers was very bad. Many Arabic ebooks we ingested had formatting errors or deviated from EPUB standards. Some files were were basically PDFs wrapped in EPUB. Rather than rejecting them, we should have found a solution. So we instituted a rigorous content QA workflow with automated checks and tools to validate incoming EPUBs using many automations and something like this. And we are researching now using Readium CLI in this QA workflow. By creating this QA loop, we not only improved the reading experience on Samawy, but also helped improve the overall quality of Arabic e-publishing as we share our feedback with the content creators, authors, and publishers. Finally, we are not stopping here. We are continually evolving our product with new features and innovations to stay ahead. First, social reading features. We are researching these features nowadays to find how to use Readium or leverage on Readium SDKs now to achieve these features. The first is the social reading. Because we believe that reading can be a community experience, we are researching social reading tools and leveraging Readium's capabilities to enable things like shared annotations, readers' comments on paragraphs inside the books, or book clubs inside the application. We are prototyping this in a way that keeps it optional, respects privacy, and prevents spoilers. We think that the open architecture of Readium gives us the flexibility to build these collaborative layers on top of it. And it would be greatly appreciated if anyone here could share their experience about something like this. It will be very helpful. The second feature is the geo-restriction and rights management. To support our publishing partners, we are working now on developing fine-grained geo-restriction controls. This allows certain books to be available only in specified countries or regions, respecting territorial licensing agreements. We are researching building this on top of LCP's flexibility. This gives publishers confidence that offering content on Samawy won't violate their distribution agreements, encouraging more content to go digital. The third feature is that the web reader or web reading application. Beyond reading on our mobile application, we are researching a browser-based interface that allows users to read books or sample content directly online without needing to install the app. This initiative aims to reduce barriers to entry and provide seamless access to our library. We plan to use the Readium Web Toolkit to enable free books, previews, and snippets to be accessed through browsers. These features and others ensure that we don't just solve yesterday's problems in the Arabic digital publishing scene, but also stay ahead of emerging trends in publishing technology. By continuing to leverage Readium's roadmap and combining it with our local insights, we keep Samawy on the forefront of innovation in Arabic digital publishing. And big thanks for our techie heroes in Samawy for making this happen. I'm just a product manager. They are doing the actual work by their hands. And they are the guys that buzzing you, not me. Thank you so much.
Showing everyone how it's done. So my name is Leonard Richardson. I'm a senior software developer. I work on the back end at bookshop.org. And I've added some pictures that I took yesterday at the National Print Museum of Dublin as a way of encouraging you to go check it out. So I think everyone in this room will enjoy what they have there. So bookshop.org is an online bookshop for the US and UK. And our differentiator is that this is intended for brick and mortar local bookstores to use as their online shopping website and to take care of the fulfillment for the online orders. In January, we launched an e-reading platform so that local bookstores could get a piece of the ebook market. And I personally joined Bookshop because I want to preserve the role of local bookstores as physical spaces that are important to the intellectual life of their communities. Bookshop is actually the second project I've worked on that adopted Readium. In the 2010s, for about 8 years, I worked on an e-reading system for public libraries at the New York Public Library. We produced full native mobile apps using Readium 1, and then in the early 2020s, we migrated to Readium 2. Back then, Readium was a much less mature state than it is today, so I think I'm in a position to talk about the difference between these two decisions that we made. When we adopted Readium for the library project, it was the big appeal was that it was the most mature open source e-reading stack, and we pretty much had to pick an open source stack for this project because the main point of the library project was to rescue American libraries from a state of vendor lock-in and move them away from proprietary platforms. At Bookshop, the rationale was much different. Platform costs, vendor lock-in, still definitely a concern. But the biggest value we got from Readium when adopting it for the second project was how much design and implementation work it saved us from having to do in the first place, now that the platform was much more mature than it was when I was looking at it for the library project. The biggest bottleneck for the Bookshop launch was the publisher audits of our source code. And we were able to get those audits started, if not completed, very quickly, thanks to the Readium mobile SDKs and the LCP content protection. I'm just going to go into a tiny bit of technical detail for those who are interested. Sizable majority of Bookshop's customers read ebooks through our Android or iOS mobile app. These mobile apps we built from a shared React Native code base. We used a fork of the React Native Readium project by 5 Stones to drive the platform-specific Kotlin and Swift toolkits. And that has saved us from having to write a lot of native platform-specific code. Minority of our ebook customers read books in their web browsers. For these, we have written a web browser based on a fork of R2D2BC, a web implementation of the Readium architecture written by Aphrodita Moriki, old colleague of mine at the library. Access control for mobile clients is managed, this may be on the next slide. Yeah, here we go. Access control for mobile clients is managed through an LCP license server. Access control for the web clients is based on something that I think of as not technically LCP, but it cryptographically, it basically has the same properties as LCP. On the back end, our server and ebook processing pipeline are written in Go. This lets us just import the Readium Go toolkit and the LCP server as software dependencies and then call their APIs directly. We use this for anything that requires looking inside an EPUB prior to delivering it to the customer. So that includes quality control, as Muhammad mentioned, generating free previews, indexing the text of the book so that it can be searched, encrypting content, and also preparing a Readium web manifest file, which is what is used by the web reader. Just mention a couple of the problems that we faced. A lot of what Muhammad said, especially regarding the publisher ebook quality, are problems we've also run into. A lot of our issues, I think, may be specific to our decision to use the React Native and to drive Readium through a React Native layer rather than calling them native code directly. There's just a lot of bits of the Readium API that are difficult to access through React Native Readium. Not a Readium-specific problem, but if anyone else happens to be doing this, my front-end colleagues at Bookshop would like to talk with you about it. Another thing I want to mention is a lot of the time, the easiest way to customize a piece of software is to fork it and customize a fork. We're actually operating off of forks of all of the components that I've mentioned in this talk so far, and that, of course, creates technical debt. The Readium architecture actually makes it possible to do a lot of customization without forking, which is really great, but it definitely does happen, creates technical debt, and then there's also ongoing work to keep our forks up to date with the upstream code. A couple things I want to mention that we have planned for the future. We would like to switch our web reader to something based on Readium Web or Thorium Web. We evaluated it when we started this project. We decided it wasn't ready, but we've taken a look at it again recently. We think it would be ready if we were starting from scratch today. But since like I said, the vast majority of our users are on mobile, we are focusing on improving the mobile experience rather than revamping the web experience. However, that is something we want to do, especially as more functionality is added to the Readium ecosystem and can be taken advantage of by Readium Web or Thorium. The other thing I want to mention is that as more e-reading platforms adopt LCP, we see LCP as a point of integration to drive interoperability. We would like to see basically people buy ebooks from bookshop.org and then be able to read those books in any reader that they care to use. We don't see our e-reader software as a distinctive value add. It's more of a convenience for our users. If users have a hardware device or a different app that they would like to read their books in, we'd like to support that, and we see LCP as sort of the crucial point of integration that can make that possible. And I try to make this really quick in case there were any time for, so we'd have time for any questions, but also please grab me later if you'd like to talk about Bookshop or any of the technical aspects that I just covered. Thank you.
Thank you, Lana. About if there are one or two questions, we can take it. If not, we move, and we've got a break just after this session, so you will be able to ask any questions to the presenters. Okay.
Why don't we keep it moving, because I know we're short on time. So yeah, any questions, please talk to me during the break.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and good morning. My name's Erik Pattenden. I'm the Chief Technical Officer at Glassboxx. I'm here to talk about our journey using Glassboxx, not dissimilar, I think, from yours at Samawy, Muhammed. Firstly as well, I'd like to thank EDRLab for giving me the opportunity to speak in front of such an esteemed audience as this, and to talk about how we've used Readium LCP in our native iOS and Android mobile apps and Electron desktop apps. I look after a team of mobile developers, desktop developers, web developers, and I've been the chief technical architect at Glassboxx. Our objective was, like others, as Leonard mentioned, implementing a robust, interoperable DRM solution for ebook and audiobook fulfillment that could scale and adapt to different content types, and would fit alongside our print e-commerce offerings as well for book publishers and retailers. So like many in this room, we've all probably had some bitter lessons of using DRM, not mentioning Adobe Content Server in the same breath as that. We've also spent time looking at other DRM solutions. I don't know if anybody ever came across Sony URMS. Yeah, there we go. So we spent some time looking at Sony URMS for a while, which unfortunately no longer exists. But with Glassboxx being the main supplier of e-commerce solutions to the publishing industry, we persisted, and that persistence led us to Readium LCP. So where we are today is we have an e-commerce platform of choice for more than 200 publishers and retailers. It's linked to, at the moment, 25 print distributors all over the world, big names and small, Ingram, Wiley, etc., Gardner's, and smaller local distributors as well. I think maybe your stats on the number of apps might be a little bit out of date, Lauren. At the moment, we've got 60 LCP-based apps, and currently 15 desktops, with more coming on all the time. We've got 600,000 books encrypted on our own LCP servers, and we're also using now audiobooks from external, ebooks, I should say, from external aggregators with our apps as well. So, the kind of library is limitless, really. Overall, the Glassboxx solution is all about making direct-to-consumer and business-to-business sales and fulfillment of print and digital as simple as possible for publishers and for end users, customers. So for ebooks and audiobooks, DRM provided using LCP is one of the components of the solution. It links to a headless e-commerce engine used to manage products, i.e. books. Customers, who are the end users and the readers, and orders, which equate to licenses and fulfillments. Upstream, Glassboxx connects to external websites using REST APIs, add to cart buttons, direct links, or websites that we've developed ourselves. Downstream connects to our reader apps using REST APIs, and our file stores with the encrypted books that come out of our LCP servers with metadata and assets ingested from publisher clients. It works quickly, efficiently, a bit like Kindle and Audible, you might say, but you'll notice there's no mention of Amazon here. Just to give you an idea of some of our clients, these are clients that are using Glassboxx for physical and digital fulfillment. It's an ever-expanding list among publishers in trade, academic, niche, and a whole variety of different publishing sectors worldwide. So I'm just going to mention a few things about our experiences of integrating Readium LCP. With our native mobile apps, these are all now mostly using the latest versions of the Swift and Kotlin toolkits. There's a few that we're still upgrading at the moment that's still in progress. I mean, it's been a well, you can imagine with 60 apps, it takes some time to upgrade them all, to work on them all, to roll out changes. One of the good things is it's been straightforward to add our own customizations on top of the UI layer. For example, a tap, pinch, and zoom feature we recently implemented for images that are embedded in EPUBs. Code that potentially, we're happy to share with the community if that would be helpful. I'd also like to take the opportunity now to thank Michael and Quentin for their support in doing that and supporting us, supporting our development teams. I mean, as ever, I think has been mentioned previously, there's been some issues as well. There is quite a learning curve. Let's say, I don't know if everybody uses multi-IDs. We have got a couple of apps where we're still having multi-ID issues. And another thing that is a real bugbear is that there are some differences in the behavior between what happens with the Readium toolkits on a simulator and what happens in a real device. And that does cause us some grief. Probably not uncommon for what happens with mobile app development generally. As far as our desktop developments go, we're in the process of rolling out a suite of new desktop apps that are based on the latest Thorium. That's in UAT at the moment. I might be able to show you a version on my laptop later if that would be of interest. It's not quite the same as Thorium. It's got some functional changes in the UI. We've tried to simplify the UX a bit, but it is a complicated beast. It's got lots of different components. It's taken a while to get to grips with it. So there have been some challenges. I think Michael, who I know is here, is probably the best person, and he's been working with Ben, one of our developers, and I think there are a couple of outstanding questions, not least of which around the kind of final productionization step. That's still in progress at the moment. I think, Michael, let's have a catch up on that. Overall, as been mentioned already, I mean, we do see significant advantages in using Readium LCP. It's been, to us and to our customers, it's given lots of beneficial ROI. Cost, efficiency, security, the UX, far better than what there has been before. And then just a final couple of recommendations based on our experience of implementing Readium and LCP. I mean, we use Browser Stack, as many of you may well do, as a testing platform. We're looking at more automated testing. I think that's going to be useful, and certainly if anybody's got experience of using more automated tools for testing, then I'd be interested in having a chat about it. We started looking at something called Test Grid. I don't know if anybody's come across that before, but that would be of interest. And Leonard, you mentioned React Native. That's something that, again, keen to talk with anybody that's got experience of that. Arnaud, you mentioned earlier, just to close, God, I know it's coffee time. There's kind of a long-standing joke about DRM, and really what it is a way of treating your customers a bit like potential criminals. And I think that's, we can all picture implementations of DRM where that's certainly the case. With LCP, I can assure you, that is definitely not the case. So, yeah, happy to take questions now or afterwards, but thanks very much.